Hello and welcome to Trinket on Cooldown's rated battleground strategy videos. This is your host Mograin, and in this video we will be discussing the strategy for Battle for Gilneas from the Horde perspective. The team composition for this video is going to be one Disciplined Priest, one Holy Paladin, one Resto Shaman, one Feral Druid, one Retribution Paladin, one Hunter, one Death Knight, one Rogue, one Warrior, and one Major Warlock. Alright, so let's kick this video off by discussing what's going to be happening at the start of the match. In this video, that's going to pertain to the Hunter, who will leave the boats and head straight on down and begin capturing mine. As for the remainder of the team, they are all going to take the Path of Frost from the Death Knight and take the ocean path behind the mountain range and head on down to Lighthouse. At Lighthouse, they're going to CC or kill whatever remaining defenders the Alliance have left there, and hopefully be able to capture Lighthouse. Now, it's very important that we get Lighthouse and Mines at this early stage, because essentially, if we can get these two, that's going to transition us into the later game. Alright, so let's go ahead and transition into the mid-game for Battle for Gilneas. Basically, we now have Mines and Lighthouse. So what's going to happen is there's going to be two separate teams. The first team is going to be the Mines team, which is going to consist of the Hunter, the Disciplined Priest, the Death Knight, and the Feral Druid, whose only goal is to make sure that Mines does not get captured. And the Lighthouse team, which will consist of the Holy Paladin, the Retribution Paladin, the Rogue, and the Major Warlock, who are going to go ahead and make sure Lighthouse is not captured. The remaining two people, the Resto Shaman and the Warrior, are what's going to be called the Road team, who are going to hang out on the overhanging cliff that overlooks waterworks in between Mines and Lighthouse, and they're going to go ahead and transition over to Mines or to Lighthouse, depending on who needs help. So once we've secured the 2-to-1 base lead, the enemy team's going to have one of four reactions. Let's go ahead and look at their first reaction, otherwise known as the Big Push Lighthouse reaction. Now, the Big Push Lighthouse reaction is when the opposing team sends 5 or more players to Lighthouse to put on pressure, attempt to capture it. What we're going to do in reaction to this is we're going to shift the Road team, the Warrior and the Shaman, over to Lighthouse. So now we have basically 6 on 5 or more. The Rogue and the Feral Druid, or what they're going to do is they're going to stealth and move as a team over to Waterworks. In case things don't work out at Lighthouse, we'll be able to ninja cap Waterworks and shift the scales to a Mines Waterworks control on our part, as opposed to a Lighthouse Mines control. The second reaction you'll probably typically see from the enemy is going to be a small push Lighthouse reaction, which is basically anything less than 5 people moving to try and capture Lighthouse. At that point, what we're going to do is we're just going to leave the Lighthouse team to handle it. There's already 4 people there. They should be able to hold it off just fine. In addition, they may send a splinter team of about 3 or 4 people over to Mines and doing somewhat of a double-pronged assault. So basically what that's going to happen is we're just going to have to hold it off on both sides, and the Road team will either rotate to Lighthouse if they get more people, or to Mine if they get more people. Third reaction we're probably going to see from the enemy team is a Big Push to Mines reaction, which is basically 5 or more enemies being sent to try and capture Mines. Again, like we did with the Big Push Lighthouse reaction, we're going to shift the Road team over to aid the already set up Mines team. The Rogue and the Feral Druid are going to disengage from that battle and go ahead and stealth down and try to capture Waterworks. So again, if we are somehow lose Mines, we will now be at a Lighthouse Waterworks advantage as opposed to a Mines Lighthouse reaction. The fourth reaction we may see out of the enemy is going to be a small push to Mines reaction, which is basically anything less than 5 people making a move to go ahead and try and capture Mines. So again, just like we did with the small push Lighthouse reaction, we're going to have the Mines team handle that. We're probably again going to see that splinter group heading over to Lighthouse. Lighthouse group's going to handle that. The Road team's going to shift between Lighthouse and Mines if need be, and if we're able to hold off all these 4 separate attacks by the enemy, that's a 2-to-1 gap. That is also a win for the Battle for Gilneas, and congrats, you've won. Now let's take a step back here and rewind to the start of the match. Let's say we come out, the Hunter comes out to go ahead and try and capture Mines, and we see Uh-oh, the enemy team is not rushing to waterworks. They're instead rushing straight across the bridge to try and capture mines. What we're going to do is we're going to have the DPS and the healers and all of them still go around that mountain down to Lighthouse. However, the difference here is there's going to be a new rogue druid strategy. And what the rogue and the druid are going to do is they're going to break off, they're going to peel, they're going to stealth and head down to waterworks just like they would do in those big push Lighthouse big push mine strategies that we talked about before, and go ahead and try and capture waterworks. So now all of a sudden we see we now have a Lighthouse waterworks 2-to-1 advantage. So the Lighthouse team will still consist of the Holy Paladin, the Retribution Paladin, the Rogue, and the Major Warlock. However, the Waterworks team is going to consist of the Hunter, the Disciplined Priest, the Death Knight, and the Feral Druid, who would have been the Mines team in our original strategy. The Rogue team is now going to hang out between Lighthouse and Waterworks, and that team again is going to be that Warrior and that Resto Shaman. Again, we're going to see those big pushes either to Lighthouse or Waterworks. We're going to do the same strategy we were able to hold off them when we had Mines in Lighthouse. And this time we will win with a 2-to-1 cap, only this time it is a Lighthouse Waterworks cap. Well everyone, thank you for watching Trinket on Cooldown's Rated Battleground Strategy videos. I've been Mograine, this has been Battle for Gilneas Horde, and remember those 3 key components to any successful Rated Battleground: crowd control, feeling for healers, and situational awareness.